I used to just accept the pain in my hands as something that came with getting older. I thought, this is just how it is, and figured I'd have to live with it forever. Waking up with stiff fingers, struggling to open jars, even writing became tough. Things I never thought would slow me down. At 85, looking at my hands now feels strange. They're not the same hands that held my family, cooked meals, or did all those little things I loved. Everyone kept telling me, it's normal, it's just aging. So I stopped hoping for better. I tried painkillers, creams, gloves, nothing worked for long. Then, I found something homemade. A simple oil that didn't promise miracles but slowly brought real relief. This helped me get back some of my freedom. I'm going to share how I found it and how I use it. But before that, I want to hear from you. How old are you? And where are you watching from? It's nice to know who's out there because maybe this little thing can help you too. There are simple things in life that we rarely think about until they become difficult to do. Holding a knife steadily, gripping a warm cup without fear, buttoning up a shirt easily. These are everyday actions we often take for granted. But when pain starts creeping into your hands, these simple tasks can turn into real challenges. It began as a mild stiffness, mostly in the mornings. At first, I thought it was just the weather or sleeping in an awkward position. But over time, the discomfort became more frequent and persistent. It wasn't just in the morning anymore. Even slicing fruit, writing my name, or opening a bottle started to hurt. It felt like my hands were quietly saying, "Not today." I remember one afternoon in particular. It was my granddaughter's birthday, and like every year, I wanted to bake her favorite cake. But as I tried to whisk the eggs, the pain in my knuckles was so intense that I had to stop. Sitting there, tears started to fall. Not because of the cake, but because I felt a part of me shifting in a way I didn't want to accept. Every time I needed help opening a jar or cutting with scissors, I felt a piece of my independence slipping away. My hands had always been a symbol of who I was: a caretaker, a cook, a mother, a grandmother. Now they seemed to be betraying me, becoming a source of frustration. I visited the doctor. They examined me and explained it could be arthritis or inflammation, common as we age. They prescribed painkillers, some strong, some mild, but these only offered brief relief. The pain would return, along with the tiredness and the sadness of feeling trapped in a body that seemed unwilling to cooperate. I tried ointments, thermal gloves, gentle exercises, even supplements. Some helped temporarily, but none brought back the confidence I longed for. I became skilled at hiding the pain, pretending everything was fine. But deep down, I was exhausted, tired of feeling limited and dependent on others. One day, while talking to a neighbor who also had joint pain, she mentioned using natural oils. She didn't claim it was a cure, but said it helped ease her pain. She looked me in the eye and said, "You have nothing to lose by trying. Maybe you'll find something you thought was missing." That phrase stayed with me because at that moment, I did feel like something precious was slipping away. I decided to try a different path, one that was gentler, more natural, closer to what the body could understand without harsh chemicals or side effects. That's how my journey started. Not with high hopes, just with a quiet wish to regain a little freedom. The freedom to use my hands without fear. The first time I heard about this oil was during an ordinary conversation. I was in a waiting room at the health center, and next to me sat a woman around 80, wearing a beautifully handmade wool scarf. I asked if she had knitted it herself. She smiled and nodded, then said something that caught my attention. "Since I started using my special oil, my fingers feel like mine again." Curious, I asked her about the oil. She said she made it at home with simple ingredients: olive oil, rosemary, turmeric, and lemon peels. She explained how she gently heated the mixture, let it rest, and massaged it into her hands every night. She didn't claim it reversed aging, but said it soothed the aches and discomfort that time leaves behind. I went home thinking about her words. I'd heard of natural remedies before, but I'd always been skeptical. If it didn't come in a box with a prescription, I doubted it could help. But that night, struggling to turn a stubborn door key, I thought of her scarf and those simple ingredients. I told myself, I have nothing to lose. The next day, I dug out an old notebook and started writing down what I remembered. I looked up information online, watched videos aimed at people my age, read articles. Slowly, I put the recipe together. It wasn't complicated. The key was using good quality ingredients and being consistent. I bought extra virgin olive oil, turmeric powder, dried rosemary leaves, and used the lemon I had at home. That afternoon, I carefully peeled the lemon, avoiding the bitter white part, and combined everything in a small saucepan. I heated it very gently, just enough to let the ingredients release their properties, no boiling. The aroma surprised me. Warm, herbal, with a hint of citrus, it reminded me of the teas my grandmother used to make when I was a child. After cooling and straining the oil, I stored it in a glass jar on my nightstand. That night, I took a small amount and slowly massaged it into my hands. I wasn't expecting a miracle, just a moment of calm. But something about that ritual made me feel like I was caring for myself in a new way. From there, everything changed gradually but surely. The ingredients are simple and probably already in your kitchen. 1 cup of extra virgin olive oil, the purer, the better. 2 teaspoons of turmeric powder. 1 dry sprig of rosemary or 1 tablespoon of dried rosemary leaves. Peel of half a lemon without the white part. To prepare it, pour the olive oil into a small pot, add turmeric, rosemary, and lemon peels. Warm gently on very low heat for about 15 minutes, stirring occasionally. The goal is to allow the ingredients to infuse without boiling. Once the oil has absorbed the yellow color from turmeric and the scent of rosemary, turn off the heat and let it rest for a few minutes. Then strain through a fine sieve or cloth to remove any solids. Store the oil in a dark glass jar to protect it from light, and keep it in a cool place. Every night I massage a small amount of this oil into my hands, starting with the palms, then each finger, wrists, and joints. I use gentle, circular motions. If a particular spot hurts more, I spend a little extra time there. You don't need much, what matters is consistency. The massage helps the oil absorb and improves blood flow. Sometimes I use it in the morning, especially when my hands feel stiff, but nighttime works best because it can work while I sleep. This oil doesn't replace any medical treatment. If you're on medication or have a health condition, talk to your doctor before trying any new remedies, natural or otherwise. Every body reacts differently. Don't expect immediate results. Healing takes time and patience. But if you keep at it and combine the oil with gentle movement, healthy eating, and self-care, you may notice real improvement. At first, the change was subtle. Before, I would wake up with numb fingers, swollen joints, or the frustrating feeling of not being able to close my hands properly. But after a few days, I noticed I was sleeping more deeply and waking with less stiffness. Little by little, my hands felt more flexible. I could open the fridge with one hand, comb my hair without resting the brush, and after a while, I could knit for almost an hour, something I hadn't done in a long time without pain. The difference was clear. Before, I avoided using my hands out of fear. Now, I was trusting them again. Jars that once felt like barriers became just lids I could open. Something unexpected happened, too. Those nightly massages helped calm my mind. I felt less tension in my shoulders, less anxiety. My wrists and elbows swelled less after repetitive tasks. I realized the oil was only part of the solution. I also started gentle exercises from physical therapy, circular movements, slow stretches, squeezing a softball for 10 minutes a day. I cut down on inflammatory foods and drank more water. Most importantly, I stayed active even with small daily chores. Be consistent. Using the oil once a week won't help much. Make it part of your routine like brushing your teeth. Use small amounts and massage with intention. Find a quiet moment. I do it before bed, but any time that suits you is fine. Combine with gentle exercises. Listen to your body. If pain spikes or you're tired, rest. Rest is part of healing. Today, I can't say I'm completely free of discomfort, but I'm no longer controlled by pain. Every time I pick up that bottle of oil, I remind myself that I'm doing something kind for myself, something that brings calm, control, and hope. This isn't just about an oil. It's about refusing to give up because of age. Growing older doesn't mean accepting pain as your only option. It means continuing the search for solutions, gentle, natural, personal. This oil gave me more than relief. It gave me a way to feel capable, useful, present. Each massage reminds me, I can still care for myself, learn, and change what troubles me. Sometimes, a small bottle of homemade oil is a quiet act of resistance against surrender. If you decide to try this, do so carefully and mindfully. Watch how your body responds and always check with your doctor if you have concerns. This oil isn't magic, but combined with movement, good nutrition, rest, and love for yourself, it can help ease discomfort and bring back a sense of freedom. Taking care of our hands is taking care of our desire to live fully. If this story gave you even a small hope or idea, I'd be glad to have shared it. Now it's your turn. Do you experience hand pain? Have you found any natural remedies that work for you? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your story and remind us all that we are not alone. For more tips, real stories, and simple ways to feel better, subscribe and share this video with someone who might need it. Thank you for watching.